Hello everyone, welcome to Yura's Corner on the SWI channel. In our last video, we started a series on breastfeeding, and in that video, we detailed 10 amazing benefits of exclusive breastfeeding, both to the mother and the child. Today, we are exploring what the potential challenges can be, what are the things that make women not to be able to decide to go on the journey of exclusive breastfeeding. That is what we'll be discussing today. So welcome once again, and let's get right into it. The first point I would love to talk about is difficulty for working moms or working mothers. We know that most or a high percentage of the new generation mothers like me and you watching this video, we are mostly working class women, and when you give birth, the maternity leave in this part of the world does not grant you as much time, to be home to exclusively breastfeed your baby. I mean, the maximum companies give, and also even government parastatals, is granting 3 to 4 months of maternity leave. And for exclusive breastfeeding, it is expected that the baby should be breastfed for 6 months without introducing water or semi-solids. And there comes the question of how possible and how practical this really is. The truth is, and the good news is, that a lot of us mothers and working class mothers have been able to navigate this and done it successfully as well. So if you want us to make a detailed video about how to go about this, please let me know in the comment section. I will make an elaborate video about how you can combine exclusive breastfeeding with working, right? But it's very important for me to tell you that this is something that is possible. It's something you can work around with early preparation, with planning, with a lot of support from both your family, and everyone around you. But it's actually very possible. The next challenge we will talk about is time and commitment. Exclusive breastfeeding takes time and a lot of commitment from mothers. This would involve you devoting your time. This would involve you spending a lot more time, with your baby, when you could have easily just asked someone to, feed them, bottle feed them, do any other thing. But if you are exclusively breastfeeding, you are required to spend time. You would have to do this yourself. It's not something that you can delegate, and that is one reason some women, they feel like it's some sort of stress and a burden that they are not able to carry, and because of this, they decide not to exclusively breastfeed. But trust me, breastfeeding has been fulfilling for a lot of women, and it can be for you as well. Interestingly, in as much as time is required, there are also other ways that you can navigate, the entire process and make it easier for yourself and also for your baby. This may include you pumping, you pump and then someone else is able to feed the baby while you rest. There are lots of things that you can do to just ensure that you are able to actually breastfeed your baby exclusively for the first 6 months. And yes, it will take your commitment, yes, it will take your time, but it will be worth it at the end of the day. Thirdly, maternal health issues can be one of the challenges that mothers encounter. Either they are on some medications that do not allow them to breastfeed, because there are some drugs that you may be placed on that the doctor would recommend that you don't breastfeed, because in as much as the drugs are addressing some health issues that you have as a mom, it can also be transferred in the breast milk to your baby and may cause harm to your baby. So it may be recommended that you do not breastfeed for the time frame you are on those drugs. There are also some other health conditions that do not allow mothers to breastfeed their babies, and there are other mothers as well that have difficulty in producing sufficient milk for their babies. These are real challenges that a lot of mothers face, and what we want to let you know today is, in as much as we are advocating for exclusive breastfeeding, it would also be good for us to let you know that it's okay if you're having such issues. It is okay, and you can actually do, you can supplement the breast milk for your baby and make go for alternative options like formula and the rest of it, just so that your baby is well taken care of and well nourished. So please don't beat yourself if you right now are experiencing difficulty with regards to your health that makes it makes you not to be able to actually exclusively breastfeed. It's not unique to you. There are some mothers that have experienced it as well, and I'm so sorry that you are going through that. The fourth challenge that mothers encounter on their exclusive breastfeeding journey is the challenge with latching and also sore nipples. Latching, trust me, is something that every new mother needs to be taught, because when the baby is not properly latched, there is a high possibility that you will be in pains when baby is sucking on your breast, right? So the ideal way to latch your baby would be to ensure that the entire nipple and the areola are all inserted in the baby's mouth. So the baby is not supposed to latch on your nipples, but the baby is supposed to latch on your breast. I will try as much as possible to put picture or video illustrations of this if it is allowed by YouTube, but I'm going to do that just so you understand. And I know that as time goes on, we'll do more detailed video on latching, right? And when baby is not properly latched, it can cause you to have sore nipples. These are some of the challenges that some mothers encounter. So if you're able to learn, watching this video today, if you're a first-time mom, can help you to learn how to latch properly so that you don't have sore nipples. For those of us that didn't get to learn a lot about this before we had our first child, we had sore nipples, we had to use nipple cream and so many other substitutes just to heal the sore that we had on our nipple because baby was not properly latched. So this is the challenge that mothers can encounter when they are exclusively breastfeeding. To address this particular challenge, one thing you can do is to actually learn about this, which is what you are doing by watching this video, and learn how to latch your baby properly to prevent having a sore. And if you eventually have a sore, there are nipple creams to the rescue which can help out in such situations. The fifth difficulty that mothers encounter on their exclusive breastfeeding journey is the lack of shared feeling of responsibility. Now, when a mother decides to exclusively breastfeed, it seems like she has to do this whole thing by herself, but it should not be so, because if you are doing everything by yourself, then you are going to be very overwhelmed. You need a lot of support, and you should learn how to ask for support. What this means is that you should be able to plan, your feeding, plan your sleep. What we are advised as new mothers is to, as much as possible, try to sleep when the baby is sleeping. When you have a newborn, it's very possible that you have to breastfeed almost every other hour. So the babies breastfeed and sleep, they breastfeed, they feed and sleep, they feed and sleep. That's what they do for the first few weeks of their life. And then you are up round the clock. So you have to, as much as possible, try to pace yourself, try to pump if you can, so that there are some times that baby would wake and can be fed by someone else if you have a support system at home and all that. So have all these plans in place so that you are not overwhelmed, right? Because you need to be well rested even for you to produce enough milk for your baby. Another major challenge that exclusively breastfeeding mothers encounter are social constraints. You know how it is when you go to an occasion and all of a sudden you are engorged, your baby is crying, and you need to breastfeed, and there is no comfortable place, or you are not even comfortable enough to be able to pull out your boobs and breastfeed. And most places, say events places, even some worship centers, some schools, some workplaces do not really have a section that they have isolated for nursing mothers to be able to nurse their baby. We encourage that to be done, but if it is not obtainable, don't be perturbed. As much as possible before you go out, put on an outfit that is breastfeeding friendly. Even when you're making clothes, you, as much as possible, try to make clothes that will allow you to freely breastfeed when you are outside your home. And another thing you can do is also sometimes go to your car if you can and breastfeed. Go to your car, put on the AC, breastfeed comfortably, and then you can go back into the Owambe and have all the fun that you need to have, right? So don't let social constraints be a limitation to you choosing to exclusively breastfeed your baby. Another major challenge that it will be worthy to mention is the challenge of physical discomfort. The truth is that in as much as exclusive breastfeeding is exciting, it's nourishing, it has so many benefits for you and your baby, it can also bring a lot of discomfort. I mean, there are times that you would have engorgements, there are times that you would have breast milk spilling all over your clothes, a lot of things that can, discomfort you on the journey. But it is important for you to know your why, and also know how you would be able to reduce the level of discomfort that you feel. One of them may be you ensuring that you are breastfeeding comfortably in a position that makes you very comfortable. You are not bending over where your neck or your hands are not well stabilized. So it is good for you to use breastfeeding pillows. It is also good for you to have a good breastfeeding chair, especially when you are at home, a comfortable position. It's also good for you to have the space aerated, and also for you to have loose clothing on, so that you are a little bit more comfortable, and you're not all inconvenienced just because you want to breastfeed your baby. So these are things that you can actually work around based on how you are feeling and based on your conditions, your living conditions, or working conditions even. So yeah, finally, it would be important that we talk about winning challenges. When we say winning challenges, winning is the process of taking the baby off both exclusive breastfeeding and also off the breast entirely. So there are assumptions that babies that are exclusively breastfed, they get attached, and it becomes difficult for them to eat, be bottle fed or be spoon fed and all that. And then there may also be challenges with weaning them when they turn 2. Some of them 2+ and almost 3-year-olds, they are still attached to the breast. All these are assumptions which would of course bust in one of our videos, but you should know that these are not facts, right? So you should not be discouraged. Personally, I have the perfect experience about exclusive breastfeeding. When it was 6 months, my baby was, in fact, there's nothing you give to him that he would not eat when he turned 6 months, in as much as all his life he was only taking breast milk. And even when it was time for me to wean him, I had fears of engorgement, all the things that I had thought would be a challenge for me. So most times these things are like imaginations in our head. So what I want to do is to encourage you to keep getting knowledge about this, and also get a lot more information that you need to prepare yourself, arm yourself fully, and trust me, you will not have difficulty weaning your baby off the breast when it is time. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you watched to this point and you are not yet subscribed, well, I don't know, did you enjoy the content? If you did not, let us know. If you did, also let us know in the comment section, and we would of course love to make more exciting and informative videos like this for you. So I will see you in the next one. Take care and bye.